What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, as always, once again, here we are with another negative Battlefield 2042 video. I do apologize. I know you guys doing some positive topics, but trust me, when things go good, I will talk good about the game, and when things go bad, I will talk bad about the game. I cover both sides of the story on this channel, and that's just how the cookie is crumbling right now. Hopefully in the very near future, they could do a 180 turn on this game and really bring things back to life, especially after update number 2. The gunplay feels really crispy now. Not quite there yet 100%, but it does feel a lot better than what it did previously, and hopefully Update 3 will really make this game into something different. Fingers crossed, but for now, there's a lot of bad things going on with this title. But before we hop into the commentary, just very quickly, I want to let you guys know, I already reminded everybody in yesterday's live stream, but today there will be absolutely no stream. I'm taking a day off. I'm still going to be making my daily YouTube videos, obviously, but just for streaming on Sunday, there will be no stream for this week. But we will be returning on Monday, and also World War III, that FPS game I made a video about a while ago. I know I said I'm not going to make any content about it, but I think I'm going to give it another try and see if I have any second opinions on this game. So if you guys want to see my opinions on this World War III game, which is pretty much like Battlefield that you see here, it's an indie developed game. It's going to be free to play on console and on PC. So if you guys want to see what that game is all about, I will be live streaming it on Monday pretty much all day long. Now, I think it's already a pretty well-known issue across the whole community, but if you don't know about this already, the performance of Battlefield 2042 is absolute garbage. They are working on it in the very near future, and hopefully it'll be resolved very soon. But since the launch all the way up to current date, and probably in the next upcoming couple of weeks as well, the performance is disgusting. Between having frames dropping 24/7, or lagging, rubber banding, while you're in perfectly good servers that are like 20-30 ping, but still the connection is still tossing around everywhere, everything just doesn't function how it should in this game, and it really kills the whole vibe of the experience. The gameplay is there. The overall core mechanics are there. It's a really solid title, and like I said back in the beta, it was just so much fun. It was addicting, and I still get that addicting vibe, especially after Update 2, where they worked on the weapons again and made them actually viable. But I just can't get over the performance of this game. Bugs, glitches, whatever. I could deal with those. I could deal with those in all the Battlefield games. Battlefield 5, I dealt with that. Battlefield 1, I dealt with that. Battlefield Hardline, I dealt with that. Battlefield 4, I dealt with that. All these Battlefield games, we have dealt with bugs and glitches. But when it comes to the core performance and not being able to run this game, especially on a beast rig, it's insulting, and it just absolutely sucks. And you would think that in the current state of Battlefield 2042, every single developer over there at EA DICE, or just DICE in general, their main goal would be fixing the performance, making sure that this game is ready to go, especially by the Christmas sales or Christmas launch and stuff like that, so they can make extra money off of this game. So they would give their 110% to make sure it's polished off. And this isn't going under the radar. The performance is definitely one of their number one things they want to fix up. But this is absolutely crazy to me. If you look over on Twitter, Tom Henderson put out a tweet on something that he's covering regarding Battlefield 2042, that the head of design is leaving DICE. This is horrifying news. Now, I know a lot of people are saying, well, this guy, he came from Candy Crush. He was a developer on Candy Crush, which is true, but he is also one of the main reasons why Battlefield 5 was one of the most gorgeous games out there. Beautiful, stunning, great graphics, great map design, great layouts. It had its issues, its fair share of problems, like, having to run back for ammo every 5 seconds and meds not healing you up all the time. But when it came down to the core experience of Battlefield 5, and after they've resolved all of these issues, I think a lot of people still love this game, and the servers are actually still populated till this date. People really do enjoy Battlefield 5. It was not a flop. He also worked on Battlefront 2, which, once again, a phenomenal video game. In the beginning, it was a little rough when it came to certain problems, but at the end of its life cycle, phenomenal. One of the best Battlefront games you could possibly ever put your hands on. Beautiful, stunning graphics, great map layouts and stuff like that. They did a phenomenal job capturing everything you would want out of a Star Wars game. You can really make as much fun of this developer as you want for being a part of Candy Crush, but he did a banger job when it comes to both of those titles. Now, he did make it very clear. He didn't get fired. He didn't have any beef when it comes to EA, or even beef when it comes to any of the other developers over at DICE. He just simply wanted a better job offer. Someone was willing to pay him more money, and he went ahead and took it. So that enough says to me that is horrifying news. How could you, EA, with such a massive budget, making millions, if not billions of dollars, be able to hold on to your head designer over at DICE, especially during such an important title, such an important game, especially knowing that it's in such a horrible condition right now. And you, as a developer as well, developers have a passion when it comes to these games, you know? It's not like he just went ahead and scrapped this game together. No, a lot of people, when they're developing these games, they grow a love for it. They grow a bond with it. This is their project, and they want it to turn out great. Now, obviously, the publishers are going to be the ones who determine that. They're the ones who force out games extra early in order to meet deadlines, and because of that, the developers have to suffer. Like I said in yesterday's video, if you guys didn't tune into that video, I was just checking it out, but a lot of the engineers over at DICE had to do a 6-month job in 6 weeks. Crunch time on these Battlefield titles are horrible right now for a lot of these developers, and it doesn't shock me that this guy wants to get the hell out of here. Not only is he going to get paid more money, but he's not going to deal with all the stress that comes along with developing a Battlefield title. Because like I just said, if he had any love for this franchise, he would have stayed a little bit longer, and EA probably wouldn't have given a crap, you know, if he said, hey, you know what, this game is released absolutely awful. We need a little bit more time with it. This is not the time to, you know, lose a head developer. We need to make sure that we're all on board to fix up this game, and then I'll leave later and go work on another project. You know what I'm saying? EA would have had no issues with that. You know, maybe if it was another developer, like a tiny developer, you know, all of us know that once you put your 2 weeks in or your month in, however long he, you know, put this in, you are usually gone by then. You know, EA is going to be trying to find different people to replace you and stuff like that, and by then, it's no point in you staying. Someone else is going to be in their spot. But a head design developer leaving DICE, they wouldn't care. They would have probably allowed him to stay as long as he wanted to in order to fix this game. I think he just wants to get the hell out of there. Who in their right mind would want to work for EA in such horrible working conditions? Who the hell would want to work for Activision in such horrible working conditions? Being a developer nowadays is probably one of the worst jobs in the whole universe, because not only do you have to deal with a bunch of crunch time and being rushed by your publishers to get a game out when you're very passionate about it and you want to see it in its best condition, but at the same time you have to deal with all the feedback from the community, from them being pissed off that you rushed out a game. And I'm guilty of this as well. I think everybody's guilty of, you know, putting all the blame on DICE in a lot of situations, and they are guilty in certain areas, you know, design decisions and logic of the game. There's things that, you know, are DICE's problem, DICE's fault, that we should tell them, get angry at them for, because they're not good designs, and if they're going to ignore us, that's not a good way to communicate with your community. But when it comes to, you know, the game just being like this, Battlefield 2042, where the connection sucks ass, the servers suck ass, the gunplay sucked ass, there's glitches and bugs like crazy, the whole game is completely unfinished. Guess who has to deal with all the backlash? DICE, not EA. EA doesn't have to hear any of this crap, even though it's their fault for forcing this game out extra early. No, DICE has to deal with it. And I want to make this very clear. I have nothing against new developers. People are out there working and grinding and going to school for 4+ years to gain the education to get into this field. They deserve to be able to be hired onto some of these projects. They deserve to become new developers. But in a time like this, in a crisis like this isn't a time, this is a crisis. And a crisis of a game like Battlefield 2042, where it's in the worst possible position it could be in ever. And we're a month away from the holiday seasons, but less than a month away from the holiday seasons, to go ahead and, you know, get big bucks for this game. Now is not the time to be firing and rehiring new people. That would be like months down the road, half a year down the road. Yeah, go ahead and hire new people for the next project, or hire new people to go ahead and work on add-ons and content for Battlefield 2042, or whatever they want to do. But when the game just launched in its worst state ever, they need people to work on the game, not new people, because new people have to come in and get adjusted to the new work environment. You know, you don't just hop in, even though they know game design, even though they've went to school for 4+ years, doesn't mean they know the traditions and the techniques that they use over at DICE to work on Battlefield games. Every company is different. Every job description is different. Every place you go to work is going to be different. So these people can't just come in and automatically know how to fix every problem that's going on with Battlefield 2042. You know what I'm saying? You need the people who have been experienced and who worked on this specific game for years and years ahead of time. Because those are the guys who designed the maps. Those are the guys who coded this game together. Those are the guys who made the weapons and the variety in the game. Those are the people who made 2042. This head developer said that he can leave once this game is finally released. That's what he said. Well, let me be honest with you. In my personal opinion, this game hasn't released. You guys released it in such a poor state that this wouldn't even be considered a beta. So with all honesty, I feel like the majority of the devs should stay on this development and work on the game, but sadly, that is not the case. Guys, we're in for a very rough year, I feel like. I have faith in DICE, I do. I know that over time it's going to be polished, but with more and more people leaving this development team, it's more of how long is it going to take to get polished, you know? And with that being said, it just kind of sucks being a Battlefield fan right now. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for tuning into this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like button. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new and enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. Also, going to chat with me, there's 2 ways to do so. I have Twitter and Discord. Both of those are in the down description. And also, when you catch me live stream some video games I do over on Twitch. Link that's in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you all in the next one. Peace out.